Hi guys. So today is easy week run number one. So easy week just doesn't affect my running, it affects also my strength training, everything else. So in that regard, like my strength training today was ridiculously easy. It's like 2 work sets, intensity 2 out of 10. It's all about fostering the recovery. And it's really funny. Easy weeks often don't feel easy, especially in the beginning. Didn't help that my sleep was not that great this weekend. So making it a whole lot more challenging for sure. And that does impact tremendously how I feel, how I recover, how my performance is. And so that's something that is often self-induced simply because I stayed up too late. But sometimes it's also the kids. And yeah, you just have to listen to it. So easy week also means I'm just coming off the hard week. That hard week, that's brutal. So just like you've seen what I've told you, like the easy weeks, like 2 sets, intensity 2 out of 10, 8 reps in the tank for the lifting, for the running, just gonna be 30 minutes, like super easy pace. Well, last week was the opposite. It was the most intense, and at the same time, also the week with the most volume. So this easy week is really necessary. So to give you an example, like the hardest week, I lift 6 days a week. I'm clearly not just a runner, I'm a hybrid athlete. So my sets were anywhere between 4 and 7 sets per exercise. Sometimes anywhere between 3 and 6 exercises per workout. And then the running, the long one was 2 hours and 15 minutes. As the longest one of the 3 prior weeks. So here we are. And the recovery week, and I am so glad I have it. It is easy to go too hard in the recovery week, especially later on when you start feeling strong. But it is so important. So, common metrics that we use in running to determine the intensity is that we are running by is speed, heart rate, power of stride. The problem with all of those are they're external things trying to control internal processes. And or in case of heart rate, which is an obviously internal process, a process that is linked to too many different things. other than performance. So if you consider this heat here, you will see that my heart rate is probably in the beginning about 10 beats higher at a given pace, and later on easily up to 25 beats higher at a given pace without me having changed or increased the load. So that is caused by the factor that you have an increased circulation to mitigate the heat, also known as sweating, more circulation to the skin, more labor for the heart. So now you might still experience it as fairly easy, but your heart rate tells you, oh, you're too high. At the other time, you need to take those factors into account. In the heat, you will not be able to go as fast as you would go in colder temperatures. Some people deal better with it than others. I happen to be somebody who doesn't deal. I'm someone who doesn't deal well with heat at all, even after being acclimated. So let's talk about power and pace. Stride has made some remarkable progress with this product in helping people evaluating their intensity that they're working in and giving them an objective feedback and helping them dial in their intensity. However, it itself can only, in certain cases, take into account the heat. Depends on how old your watch is. And still, it's an external thing that tries to control internal processes and trying to keep you in a high enough or low enough intensity. Same for pace. Pace has, on top of it, the disadvantage that I'm living in an area of rolling hills, and if I use pace, let's say based on former race performances, I tend to have the problem that if I'm going uphill, it will be too hard. If I'm going downhill or even, it might be too easy. So, not ideal. Personally, when it comes to these harder days, I use RPE, which is rating of perceived exertion, which is very subjective. What is hard for one person might not be hard for another, even though the body responds the same way. However, I've got a zone 1, zone 2 here. I should be able to talk with you with relative ease, which I am. So that tells me I'm pretty much at the right intensity. I might not like the pace results I'm getting right now, but that's what the treadmill is for, and the cooler temperatures in the fall and winter.